What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's going to be diving into the premiere draft for Amonkhet Remastered. Because of the delay to Historic Jumpstart, everyone has gotten a free entry to the draft itself. At the time you're going to be seeing this video, you're more than likely it's going to be after the fact that the draft has already rotated to the next set, which is Kaladesh, which also does have a free entry. So in today's video, we'll be diving into the Amonkhet Remastered draft. We're going to be kind of messing around, kind of seeing what is Amonkhet all about. I personally don't play a lot of Historic, so I'm not really sure what's good and what's not good when it comes to draft. With that being said, if you like the video, hit that like button. It definitely helps out a lot. If you're new here, want to post new videos on the channel, hit that subscribe button. With that being said, let's dive in the draft and let's talk about it. All right, so first and foremost, the one little note just to kind of point it out there, because I know I'm kind of blocking it. Let me change my camera real quick. Is, as you can kind of see here, that we do have, the various price entries to get into this particular draft. The other note is that the set isn't standard, so whatever cards you do draft in here, you do get to keep, but they're only legal in Historic. It is kind of cool to play kind of like an older set that maybe you haven't gotten a chance to ever really get your hands on in physical and or digital form. So we are going to be diving into the draft. Hopefully just going to come out positive with some sort of wins, even going 500 and you're going 3 for 3 is definitely very good. 3 wins kind of still gets you 2 additional packs and 1,000 gems. I mean, this is pretty sweet because not only do you get the cards from the draft itself, you can also earn yourself some gems. So I do think that's kind of a cool benefit to allowing Wizards to kind of give you free entries to these drafts. You only get one, like I said, but coming out with any sort of gems and additional packs is always very good because one, it builds up your wildcard collection. 2, gems are always great because it pays for any other future draft that you may want to do. So if you want to, maybe do very well, you want to do another one of these, you can always pay in gems for another draft, or you can always save them for the packs. Especially with with Innistrad right around the corner, you can save the gems up for Innistrad. So if you're looking to buy a lot of packs from that, you can definitely use the gems that way. So with that being said, let's dive in the draft and kind of see how it goes. All right, we are ready. The one thing you'll notice that will pop up is I do have one of those little tracker things on my browser. So you'll probably see when I open a pack, it will kind of grade the cards in the pack. I'm kind of maybe reference it just a little bit as I'm not super familiar. I'm also going to change the layout here. I am also going to move my camera because it is terrible there. I apologize. So right now, out of what it's saying, it says commit to memory is actually pretty good. I mean, overall, from what I've seen, when I've watched other people play, Historic, it's definitely a very good card. It is definitely put a target spell or non-land permanent on top of its owner's library second from the top. So it's kind of like a counter spell. It kind of delays the inevitable. Gustwalker is also very good, which I don't actually see it down here. It may exert it. It attacks if you do gets +1/+1 against flying in turn. So it's a 2-mana 1/1. But I think we're gonna go. I think we can go blue because we opened up a lot of blue. Maybe a lot of this stuff will come around. So we're gonna go with the commit. Now, the one thing I would say that's actually kind of frustrating sometimes with draft is sometimes people. Oh, I apologize. Is that sometimes people take a while to actually let cards come around. So it's right now saying either the late claim, which is enchant permanent, you control enchanted permanent, which is a very expensive, mind control kind of spell. And then we have harsh mentor. Whenever opponent it activates an ability or artifact or creature or land on the battlefield, if it isn't a mana ability, it deals 2 damage to that player, which is definitely very good. And then we have, an Essence Scatter. We have a little bit of a draw card. The one thing is in Premier Draft, you do have a timer. So if you do a lot of quick draft, you do have a timer to kind of, make your picks. We have, a stripped River Wild, but I do think, going 2 colors is definitely very good. And right now, based on what this is saying, I'm kind of on the fence of thinking the late claim because I do think a big mind control spell is very good. And as well as if our opponent didn't take the rare, that must have been the other card, which is probably a common, was actually probably the best card from here. But we're going to take the late claim because I do think just having a big spell that just takes something maybe your opponent has definitely to be very good. All right, so now we go into the next pack. We have Driven Despair. And again, another rare. It's not super great based on what it's saying. We could always go white. Going Azorius is definitely very good. We have Aven Wind Guide, has Flying Vigilance, which is definitely good. And creature tokens we control have Flying and Vigilance. So if we have any sort of way to embalm our creatures, which is an ability exclusive to, the set, we can, get those tokens that have Flying and Vigilance themselves. So I do think we're going to go with that. It does seem like a pretty good card. It is our first creature. Pact Navigation, I mean, I don't know if I own X amount of copies, 4 copies of this. It's a strong counter spell. It does make you have to pay, the 5 mana on your next upkeep or you lose the game. But having a 0 mana counter is definitely very good if we want to, rare draft. Compulsory Rest is definitely also very good. Enchanted creature can't attack or block. Enchanted creature has tap 2, sacrifice it, make your opponent pretty much make their gain 2 life, but you get to slow down their creature. And Astral Guide is the other card that is calling out whenever it attacks, target another attacking creature against flying to end a turn. But I think I'm going to go with this. We're going to kind of play the little bit of the slow game here. Grind to Dust is kind of like the big call out. Put a -1/-1 counter on up to each of 2 target creatures for 2 mana. And then Dust is Aftermath. Exile any number of creatures with -1/-1 counters on them. We aren't playing any black, but we could splash it. Gust Walkers also makes another appearance here, which is another very good card. It kind of could combine with that, but doesn't have Embalm. And then another Rested, which could be very good if we're playing like the slow game, which I think is what we're going to go with because I don't really feel like splashing black just for the 1 card. The next card up is saying Fanbear. It's a 1-mana 1/2 with a 2-mana ability to tap target creature as being the best card currently in the pack. There's another Astral Glide. Gives target creature flying. And then, you know, the other blue card that it's actually suggesting is Spellweaver Internal and has this ability called Afflict, which whenever this creature becomes blocked by a defending player, loses 2 life. I think we're going to take the Fanbear because we are playing like a little bit of that slow game, so having a 1-mana drop is not bad. A Desert's always very good. Censor's an okay counter. It is kind of like good in the early game. You can always cycle in the late game for a card draw. Other than that, I mean, the only other card in this is the Swallow of the Forgotten Pharaohs. It deals 1 damage to each target player or planeswalker. Activates only control a desert, or there is a desert card in your graveyard. I think we're going to take the Censor for the card draw and possible counter. We got past a rare. I don't know if this is... I guess it's not a really good rare in draft. When it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. As long as you have 7 more cards in your hand, you may pay 0 rather than pay cycling costs, which is not terrible, but it's a very strong draw spell. And enters the battlefield, you control desert or blah, 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 tap. You know, let's take the Sacred Cat. The Sacred Cat's really good. It can come back as a token, which definitely works well with our deck. Let's see what else we got here. Spellweaver Eternal has prowess. I kind of forgot to mention that when we first talked. So whenever we play a non-creature spell, it will get, you know, +1/+1. I guess we take the 2-mana creature. You know, it's saying the Desert is being the card we should take. Striped River Wild is probably the big creature. Has Hexproof, which is definitely very good. Nothing else is sticking out, and plus we are playing blue, so let's just stick to blue. Spellweaver Eternal is another one, is definitely very good. It's a 2-mana, so I mean, drawing a 2-mana creature is definitely always very good. And the Aven Angel that it was saying is enters battlefield, you gain 3 life. It's just a gain 3 life kind of card. Target player mills 5 cards. It's an interesting card, but let's take the Desert because having a Desert is always very good. It is a land that we can cycle. It is a land that kind of maybe if we have any desert triggers can be triggered by a desert. We'll take the Renewed Faith. We can also cycle it. You can gain some life when we cycle it. Or we can gain 6 life straight up. I mean, overall, the first round's not terrible. And we got a nice little generic crab, which we'll just throw into the sideboard because we don't probably want that in the deck. All right, Sphinx's Revelation. See, this is kind of less getting rewarded for kind of committing to a color very early. It's an X spell for 3 mana, a white and 2 blue. We gain X life and draw X cards. Eternal, Harsh Tooth, Afflict. It can't, if it attacks or whenever it attacks, it is in block. We get to draw a card. Is okay. The rest of the blue is not great. Essence Scatter. I think we're going to take the Sphinx's Revelation because I do think that's like a big, like, you know, if we're, you know, hopefully to finish off our opponent. There's Insult to Injury. We're not playing any red, but we could splash it. Damage can't be prevented this turn. If a sorcery would deal damage this turn, it deals double that damage instead. Aftermath, it deals 2 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. Not bad. We have this Hieroglyphic Illumination. We can a 4-mana draw 2 at instant speed or cycle it for 1 and draw a card. Thaw Hope, Elite, you may exert it as an attack. It gets +1/+1 and end of turn. I do think this is going to be decent. I mean, we do need some more creatures because we need to be aggressive a little bit. All right, so let's see. Open Fire is kind of like the card it's calling out, but it doesn't really work with our deck because we aren't playing any red. Anointed Priest is not bad. I know it's not really a great card for the deck, but it is something that we can embalm and get back later. Aven Enduring Hope, enters battlefield, draw, gain 3 life for 5 mana. Sacred Cat. I think we're gonna go with Sacred Cat just as a 1-drop. We have a couple 1-drops, a couple 2-drops. Let's see. Supreme Will. Let's see. Counter target spell and draw pays 3. Look at top 4 cards of your library. Put one in the hand. The rest in the bottom of your library in any order. That seems very good. Having a counter spell that can also be, a draw spell is definitely very good. There's a desert here. There is Another Anointed Priest, which is okay but not great. But I think we're gonna take the Supreme Will just because, you know, having some counters is definitely very good. Those Who Serve is like the bigger card that calls out. It's a 3 mana 2/4, which isn't a bad blocker. Let's see. Winds of Rebuke is a 2 mana card. It return target online permanent to its owner's hand. Each player mills 2 cards, and then Compelling Argument is target player mills 5 cards. So I think we're gonna deal with Those Who Serve. The rest of the cards aren't really in our color scheme, so we're just gonna go with Those Who Serve. This is a, you know, maybe like a chump blocker or something. Let's see. Aven Initiate is the card it's calling out. It's a 4 mana 3/2 flyer, which is not bad, and we can embalm it for 7 mana, which is definitely, you know, kind of works with our token strategy that if we get to that point. Strategic Planning, top 3 cards, put one in your hand, rest in the graveyard. Winds of Rebuke, bounce a spell, desert. I think we're gonna go with Aven Initiate, just, you know, so we have some more flying. Cartouche is the card it's calling out. Enchant target creature. When it enters the battlefield, we get a 1/1 white creature token with vigilance. And enchanted creature has +1/+1 and first strike. I like this card out of all of it. There's Floodwaters, return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hands. Sierra de Mara is not the greatest, and we also have Disposal Mummy. I think this is very good. It's a very strong common. Let's see. We got Spellweaver Eternal, just another 2-drop. We have Seer Last Tomorrow, which is not great. And then we have Those Who Serve. But I think the Spellweaver is definitely very good. You know, having 3 cards with Powerless and Afflict is definitely awesome. Out of this, let's see. We have Essence Scatter, Winds of Rebuke, Strip, Wind Reader. I think we're going to go with the Essence Scatter. Why not? 1 creature counter. We can probably always cut it if we don't want it. We'll take the Hieroglyphic just as a draw spell. We're not playing any black, so we'll take the Anointed Priest. I guess we'll take another Anointed Priest. I mean, it kind of worked. They rotated. I mean, they're not a strong card, but it kind of works with our deck because the Anointed Priest are, you know, whenever a creature token enters the battlefield under control, we gain a life. It can bomb it itself, and it'll get this effect, plus it's a token on top of it. And then we'll just take the Compelling Argument, which we'll throw into the sideboard. And the last card is maybe a card in our color, maybe a card not in our color. I don't really know. In Otektra's name, zombies you control get +2/+1. Other creatures you control. I mean, it could be decent if we get a lot of counters out. Collected Company is very good. It doesn't work in our deck, unfortunately. It could work in our deck if we really want to splash it. I do think it could be a possibility, as it's such a strong card, and I really don't want to let it rotate around because it's definitely probably going to be the first pick someone else is taking. So we are going to take the Collected Company, even if it's not in our color wheel. We can always splash, you know, that little bit of green just to have it. Let's see. Beneath Otekra's Avenger, you know, a 2 mana 3/1, and whenever it attacks, we can exert it when you do prevent all combat damage that we dealt to it this turn. So we can exert it to prevent some combat damage. Other than that, the rest we don't really have too much in our colors. We have Naga Oracle, 4 mana 2/4. Look top 3 cards of your library, put any of them into your grave, or the rest on top of your library. And Strategic Planning just as a top 3, put 1 card in your hand, the rest in the bottom. So I think we're gonna go with Otekra's Avenger. Let's get another Aven Wind Guide. It's just as it's a card that helps our tokens that maybe will eventually come back if we can reanimate them. The other thing too is we got to cut down because we are going to play a total of, 16 or 17 lands. I mean, we don't have really anything super expensive, but you know, it's something that we got to figure out, like how many lands we really need to play. There's not too much in the way of double mana other than, you know, double blue for that and then double blue for the Lay Claim and the Sphinx's Revelation. So we'll just probably play a little bit more blue. Maybe splash that 1 green. If we get lucky, maybe we get an Evolving Wilds rotated to us. All right, now we're back. I mean, we can take the Evolving Wilds because we want to splash that 1 green. Our promise is... I mean, they're both good, but I think we need the Evolving Wilds if we want to splash the green for the Collected Company. Cartouche of Solidarity is definitely very good. Aven Initiate's also very good as a big late game thing. Aven of Hope is okay. I guess Reduce to Memory. Reduce to Rebel is not great because we're not splashing that. We have a Wall, which is okay, but we're not playing a lot of deserts. So I think we're going to take the Cartouche just because it kind of works with us with our aggressive strategy. We can take the Cartouche for green. Gets target creature +1/+1 and has trample. Enters the battlefield, you may have enchanted creature fight target creature opponent controls. That could be very good. Start and finish kind of doesn't work because we're not splashing black. Escape Impeccable Time is a 2 mana, deal 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. We don't have a lot of removal, but I think I'm going to take the Cartouche if we're going to splash that little bit of green. We got Unquenchable Thirst, 2-mana enchant creature, enters battlefield. If you control a desert, tap up, or there is a desert in your graveyard, tap enchant a creature. Sure, we'll just have another Unquenchable. Wait, I thought I already had one. I guess I didn't. Otaka's Monument. White creature spells cost you 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 white warrior creature token with vigilance. That could be very good. If we're looking for ways to actually, pump up our tokens. So I think we'll take the Monument. Essence Scatter is probably the best card here, as this is white, but we have to play the red side first. Floodwaters, meh, and then the red and green stuff's not great, so we'll just take another Essence Scatter. We definitely have to trim down because we are well over once we add in the lands. Claim to Fame, not what we need. We'll take the Strategic Planning, but we'll probably throw it here. Wayward Servant's probably the best card here, but none of the rest of the cards are playable for us. Resolve, untap target creature, prevent all damage that we dealt to it, and we can cycle. Probably throw it here. I don't think it's like a great card. It's very situational. Exile target artifact or enchantment. I don't really know how full it is. So that's like just a sideboard card anyway. And we got the Seer of Tomorrow, which we can throw there. All right, so not terrible, not great. But I mean, overall, the draft is, I think worked out pretty good. So let's just take a quick look at the list. Based on what it's saying, we had the 1 desert. We have 6/6, saying 3 when it comes to forest. We're playing the 1 evolve and wilds. I think I'm going to keep the 2 green cards in there. I guess maybe we keep that. How many lands is it saying we're at? 17. That's not terrible. Let's see. Sacred Cat, Fanbearer. Do we want the Fanbearer? Is the Fanbearer too weak? I don't really know. No, the Priest is fine. That's fine. I think that's a very situational card. This card, which I mean is not a bad way to finish off our opponent, but it's definitely gonna take some time to set up, and we don't have a lot of zombies. 2-mana Exert. It's not terrible. Sensor's okay. Essence Scatter's fine. This is fine. Quenchable Thirst is fine. That's okay. I guess we'll get rid of those who serve. Supreme Will, Cartouche is fine. Oteker's Statue's fine. Sphinx's Revelation's fine. Guide's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Fine. Okay, so we're gonna have to definitely cut stuff because like everything can't be fine. I guess the River Wander is. These 2 cards are good. Trying to think of what to cut down. Maybe we get rid of 1 Spellweaver just because we have a very full 2-drop slot area. I guess we can get rid of the Avenger. I like this card, even though it's a 2-mana flyer, but we'll get rid of that. It's fine. The Initiate we want to keep because I do think it's good for us to have something. I know this is kind of a very aggressive card, but maybe we cut it, and maybe we cut the Cartouche. I don't know if it's worth it to really play green just for a Collect the Company. But I mean, Collect the Company is just a very strong card. You look at the top 6 cards of your library, you get to put 2 creature cards among them with mana value 3 or less onto the battlefield and put the rest on the bottom of your library. I mean, we do play a very solid 1 to 2 drop slot. White creatures you control cast 1 less to cast whenever you cast a creature spell. I think I'm gonna get rid of the Essence Scatters. I think the Sensor's fine. I don't want to play super heavy control. I mean, we are playing a little bit more aggressive. I think maybe the Renewed Faith we get rid of. And I guess we get rid of... Man, this is tough. I guess we get rid of the 1 Fanbearer. All right, I mean, this is the deck. I don't really know if it's going to be a great deck, but it doesn't seem too terrible. It does seem to have some decent cards in it, but not great cards, so we'll see how this plays out. But let's dive into some games and kind of see how it does. All right, so the first opening hand is actually very good. I mean, I feel like we actually drew a decent curve. I mean, we have a 1-drop, we have a 2-drop, we have a 3-drop, and then we got our expensive spell, and we drew all 3 mana. So I'm going to keep. First turn, Sacred Cat, say go. Very solid opening, I would say. All right, no 2-drop for them. We'll swing in for 1. I mean, it's mono green, so they probably don't have a lot. Have another 1-drop to replace our Sacred Cat in case it dies. No 2-drop, so that's good for us. I guess we will play... we'll swing in first. We will do this, and then we'll play our statue. Oh, that has... I didn't realize non-creature spells. Oops. That is my bad. All right, they have 3 mana, so now they can probably do something. They're thinking. They probably can play their first spell, so they're probably thinking, what do they want to play? What works well against this? I mean, my hope is to play... Okay, that's fine. I guess we'll play our green mana. I guess I'll swing with just this. They decide to block. Deals damage. I could save it, but I don't feel like it's worth it to really, you know, pump mana into this. I feel like this is kind of something we want to pay a little bit more mana for, maybe next turn when we only have, you know, when we're empty-handed. I mean, our opponent hasn't done much, so it's not looking super threatening. I mean, we can always embalm these back for 1, which is definitely very good. All right, can't be blocked. So they have an unblockable creature. That's not terrible. This is fine. We'll just do that. Oh. Sure. So they gain some life. We swing in for some damage. Gain some life back. I think next turn we probably Sphinx's Revelation if we don't draw anything super threatening. Anointed Priest is good. That only uses our only 1 white mana. So yeah, we'll play it. No tax. So we're a little bit on the defensive now. We don't have a lot going on here, but we are wider than our opponent, so that's good. Another aerial guide. They have a lot of these. All right, so let's just dump. Let's just kind of wait, kind of see what our opponent does. I think we do this at the end of their turn. It's instant speed. I don't know the chances of them having a counter spell. I mean, they do play blue, so it's possible. I mean, they have 6 mana. All right, they're going to spend a lot of it there. That's fine for us. Sure. 2 damage. Perfectly fine. We can play this for 3. I mean, they could have a Censor, and this is going to be countered. It's not, which is perfect for us. We play another Anointed Priest, which triggers some life gain. Let's see. How do we want to do this? We could do this, which then we can fight this, take action. Let's just be aggressive because, I mean, I can always bring those back. And I make more counters, so yeah, we'll swing in with 4 damage. And then we'll play our little bit of our Spellweaver. And we'll gain some life. So, I mean, the synergy has worked out very, very well for this deck. I mean, this has been a big, big spell for us. That's fine. I mean, they have blockers. I guess they have blockers. They can attack in. I just think our board is better than their board currently. We'll just, you know, play another flyer. Create more tokens. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna be the aggressor here. I'm fair with trading here. If they want to trade, they can trade. I mean, this is almost a lethal attack. They almost have to block. All right, they block the tokens. Interesting. So they block the 3 token. Nope. They decide not to. Okay. Sure. Double block? I have no cards in hand. We'll embalm this. Trigger more things. We'll say go. Good game. I'll just attack him with this 2-1 because I have a Collected Company in my hand. They block, they block. Sure. We'll just prowess. It's fine. It's not going to kill it, but we can get some creatures on the battlefield. Darn, we struck out. Feels bad. Rip. Sure. I mean, they're just going to go for it. You can't attack in this situation. Well, we'll give this Vigilance and First Strike. And we'll create a 1-1 in the process, which then triggers that. Sure. If you blocked, it didn't have to, but okay. I mean, all I need to do is draw like their one blocker, or my one card that takes their creature, and I just take their flyer and we win. I guess they didn't like anything because they didn't take anything to their hand or top of their library. They have no hand. We're just going to slowly chip away at them. I mean, they have to block. And we'll end turn, say go. I mean, we're at such a high life total that they don't have a flyer. I mean, I didn't have to block at all. Sure, they took me for 18 points, but... Alright, game 1 was pretty good. Alright, so match number 2 up. 1-0 so far. Hand's not bad. We can get our 1 green mana that we need, and then the rest of it is playable. So I think we actually evolve in Wilds turn 1. I don't think we're on the play. Oh, we are on the play. Sweet. Let's get this out of the way now. I don't want to leave a priority for a land that's going to come to the battlefield tapped. I don't think it really matters too much. I've always been on the proponent. Might as well do it immediately instead of, you know, holding our opponent hostage in case we get distracted. We'll Anointed Priest. I mean, our board's not, our hand's not great, as our opponent doesn't have a whole lot going on here. I mean, we did draw that, which is good. Yeah, let's just make our opponent have to not do anything, because if we block that, we're gonna take 2 points of damage. They can't attack in with it. All they can do is sacrifice it for a little bit of life gain. Next turn we can play our Avian Initiate, which is good. I guess they're you can only sacrifice, so you can't attack with it anymore. Sure. We have a 3/2 flyer, which is good. So they have something that can make us lose 1 life and then gain 1 life. Oh, not bad. All right, so they have a 3/3. It can't block unless you control another zombie. Interesting. Well, we'll swing 3 in the air. They can't do anything about that. And then we'll rest this, and we'll play cat. And we'll say go. And this can take any sort of permanent, so, I mean, it's not bad. All right, so maybe they didn't draw land. They're looking like they're looking for something in particular. I guess they also play... Oh, they drew a land. I guess they're going to gain some life. Can't block with anything. Oh, 2/2 Death Toucher. Sweet. I'm not going to cycle this because I think this is a key card we want to hold on to. swing 3 in the air, I think. And then we'll play our nice Sacred Cat. And we'll end turn. I mean, they could attack him with their 2/2 Death Toucher. We could double block. And then we get these back for their Embalm, which then triggers Anointed Priest, which we gain some life. Alright, has flying. That's fine. Are they gonna attack? Can't block. No. Alright, we'll skip, because there's no good attacks there. But we can Supreme Will something if they tap out for something big, which is not bad. Got a lot of mana. Sarcophagus. They have 3 mana open, but do they want to pay for it and then they can't do anything? Yeah, sure. We'll Supreme Will so we can actually draw for a little bit. If they want to counter that, they can. Yeah. Yes. That card. I mean, we're pretty much in a stalemate, I think. Yes. We'll say go. I think we'll Sphinx's Revelation first to gain a little bit of life. Sure. Sure. Are they gonna cycle again? Are they gonna gain some life? What are we doing here? Let's collect the company. Do I want to do something? Nah, it's fine. All right, let's just say go. I mean, we're in a stalemate. I mean, they have a way to gain a bunch of life. I mean, I could be aggressive, but I'm kind of... They play blue, so I'm kind of curious if they play counters. Like, that's my big thing here is, like, do they play a lot of counters? Sure. We'll draw. If that's allowed. See, there's stick. I mean, the stick's probably from these. Nope. Okay, sweet. Anointed Priest. No, we'll say go. I mean, I'm going to take 2 from this if they decide to attack. I may double block. We'll see what happens here. Sure. 2 mana open. It's not bad for us to do something with. Let's collect it. They could have Censor here and we just played into it. They have something they could do in response. Darn. We really struck out, didn't we? Wow. Rip. Well, this has first strike now, which is good for us. We created a token. We gained some life back. And I guess we try to play it so we can give our token flying. Sure. I can always just replay it. I'll just sit back because I can block either of their creatures now. They have no good attacks. Like, I'm not really worried at the moment, per se. Okay, so they decide to bounce something, which is not terrible. Sure, I take 7. They have mana to replay it. They have 3 mana. Interesting. All right, how do I want to do this? Kind of thinking of what I want to do here. I'm probably gonna block their Wasteland Scorpion. All right, they cycle. Sure. Like I'm not worried about dying here. I know they don't have enough to kill me per se. You got a spell. I mean, I can embalm it, which is not bad. Like I have no idea what they're holding because they haven't done much. No attacks. We're definitely in a weird, like in a tough spot. I mean, I have a Sphinx's Revelation I could always cast in case. I guess they're math in here. All right, so I'm gonna put a 1/1 counter on this. So I want to block and go down to 1. I think we're not gonna block. I don't know if that was the play. Don't know if that was the play. Say go. I have to block here. But do they attack all in is the real question. The smart thing would also be attacking with the Spellweaver. Like, they have a ton of cards. Like, what do you have? They haven't done much. They're not tapped out. Like, why haven't they played this? They could have embalmed it, put it on the battlefield as a flyer. I'll pay 3. So they had that. That was their. Gain some life out of the process. We will play this. Get a cat. And we'll say go. So we're not dead, which is good. We can block one thing. I don't want to give up the thing that's giving our tokens flying and stuff. This is going to be interesting. I'm actually going to let them do it. What do you take? You can take the Sphinxes or the late claim. I will don't care either way. They're both good cards. Okay. So I'm not going to gain a bunch of life, is what you're saying. More green. I'll attack him for 1. I think this... You've been holding on to this that whole time? What? There's no way they top deck that. All right. Our opponent goes first. Our hand's not great for what we drew. So this is... We are on the play. Or on the draw, I mean. I guess we keep. I don't think it's a terrible hand. I feel like because we have a decent amount of white in the deck, we could draw into it. Of course, we are playing blue. Sweet. We do the white mana we needed. Rewarded. We'll have our 1/1 cat with lifelink. I know it's a very threatening sacred cat. I'm aware, opponent. Okay, that's fine. Let them take some time. We can, cartouche here possibly. Get a little bit more aggressive, get a little bit more life gain. We could sit back. I think we just attack in and we possibly hold up a sensor. All right, they play black. It's fine. One 3 whenever it attacks if it isn't blocked. I'm just gonna get rid of that. I don't want you to get some card advantage. You're tapped out, so you can't do anything about it. I guess this is where we get a little bit more aggressive. We play a little bit of cartouche. Get a token, get some first strike action. And then we'll say go. I mean, this is not worth it for us. I mean, this would tap our creature. We don't want that. That's fine. I'll get rid of my extra green. I only need 1 green to make my deck work, so that's perfectly fine with me. They got rid of a Runes of Rebuke. Interesting. So they got rid of a card that could bounce a card back, so maybe they have another one. We will swing in. I could have played this. I just realized after the fact I went to combat. It has first strike. They can block if they want. But yeah, we'll do this. We'll play our Avian Wind Guide. Given our token vigilance and first strike. I messed that turn up completely. I just realized now the token has flying. I could have gotten in 4/5, sure. Wow. So either make it a 2/3 or you make that a 0/0 and kill it. Interesting. Coco is definitely very awesome. But we're just gonna... No, not you. We're just gonna go in with these guys. I mean, they have vigilance. Yeah, we're gonna Coco at the end of their turn if they don't do anything else. I will take 4. I'm at 25 life. I'm not worried about taking 4 points of damage. Nothing. Interesting. I'm not gonna Coco because they could have something. They have something, see, because we got stick. Sure. No attacks. We tap your thing down? So if you decide to attack at least once, you're going to actually have to tap it permanently? Are they actually thinking about memory in here? Is their hand that bad? They're not going to do that. I'm going to grab a second white. I don't think we need double white, but I think we play a lot more things that are white in the deck, so... I mean, they have something. I don't want to actually... Sure. I don't want to actually play Coco yet because of... because I guess this card is second from the top that we got bounced to our top of our library. And... where is it? Where's our card? Put target non-land spell or permanent on top of its owner's library second from the top. We just drew 2 cards, and I didn't draw my card back. This is weird. Oh, did we evolve in wilds and shuffled it away, didn't we? I completely forgot. Are they gonna do it? Sure. I guess we're gonna see what they got first. They can't do it now. Sure. You get rid of my token, or you get rid of my Sacred Cat I could always bring back. Sweet. Not punished. And we have 3 mana open, which I think it's Supreme... unless they have an Essence Scatter. I mean, the 2/3 version I don't think is the worst version of it. Sure. I'll get it back for some bomb cost next turn. Yeah. I will shuffle up and deal. I mean, you're just going to give me a much better hand. I think my hand... wow, my hand is amazing. You have 1 mana open. Can't play that. Yeah, we will swing in here for 1 in the air. And I will Monument, actually. I think Monument's really big here. That allows me just to get big. Real big. Sure. Whenever you cast a creature spell, an opponent controls doesn't untap. Okay. It has vigilance. Sure. They're doing a lot of the things here. Interesting. They're gonna attack. We'll cycle this. I'll get a card. Should I lay claim? Yes. All the yes. We'll take your 1/3. I'll attack him with my 1/1. You can kill my 1/1 here. We'll get another token. Wait, what? Whenever you cast a creature spell... Oh, we have to cast a creature spell. We just can't. What does this do? Whenever a cartouche enters the battlefield. So they play cartouche aggro. Got it. Bird. Still has vigilance. Yeah, I guess we play another one. Sure. Seems a little awkward. Gotta pay 5. Or you die. I don't know why you go for the creature that has vigilance. It's not... I'm at 26. No blocks. Unless you got a Wrath of God for black 3 mana. I don't know. Let's see. We go first. We have our colors. A little bit on the slower side, but I guess we'll keep. First turn, Evolve and Wilds. We'll play into play tap. Wait, am I playing first? I don't know whose turn it is. Yes, I am. Okay. We'll just get this out of the way. We'll get our white mana. We have our double blue. We have our 1 solid green. I mean, this hand's actually not terrible. I mean, for limited, it's not bad. Okay, our opponent's playing the same kind of deck we are, so I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing, but they're going to get some free points of damage because it is going to take us some time to build up. Riddle Form. Wait, Riddle Form is from this set? I had no idea. No idea. I mean, I have a desert now, so I have a card that now... Interesting. So they're playing Esper while we're playing Bant, technically. I wonder if they're splashing black just for a card. Scorpion. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. We will keep this for a more expensive card, but we're going to get our Avian Initiate out onto the battlefield. They may kill it. I don't know. I move Cartouche here. Sure. All right, they milled some land. Not a big deal. Not worried about it. Though I am a little worried we're not drawing too much in the way of threats. So I'm going to play this again. And we'll say go. Our opponent is the one who doesn't have a lot of cards in hand. I don't really think we're in a bad situation. They can attack him for 2, which I probably won't block. Blocks. I'll take it. They keep on hovering over their Wasteland Scorpion. Sure. Yeah, it's fine. I think we're going to collect the company and see if we can get some board presence pretty easily. We also have Censor up if they decide to tap out for something big. And I don't mind actually losing Spellweaver to their Scorpion. So if they attack in, I'll probably block. I mean, that's probably what they were thinking. That's fine. And taps you out to 1 mana. We'll collect the company. We'll thirst that. Tapping it. We'll swing it for 3. Yeah, it's fine. I'll swing it for 3. End turn. We're stuck on mana, so that's a thing. Their Riddle form is going to be annoying. That's the only way we can get in for some free points of damp. They can get in for some free points of damage if we attack with our Initiate every turn. I mean, they're right now in the advantage based on what's going on the board. They have more cards in hand, so they have the card advantage. I feel like the way they're playing slow, though, it makes it seem like they don't have... Sure. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll go down to 4. I don't have a lot of, I just realized I don't have a lot of what mana? Yeah, it's fine. I'll get an extra point of damage. Extra 2 points of life. Alright, so if they have a removal spell in the air, they could possibly get the... No, they can't win in the air, actually. Interesting. So they're going with a Riddle form, and they're making us mill 5 cards. So they're being aggressive here? I mean, they don't have good attacks in that scenario, and I don't know why they would. Yeah, they can't kill it, so I might as well gain the 3 life. Pass for a strike. And we'll say go. I have 5 mana. I don't have enough mana to do that. So we've kind of slowly climbed back into this. How many cards? We have 11 cards. You can still Supreme Verdict here. I mean, I was going to chunk back points of damage here. I mean, I was down to 4 life at one point. What are you doing? Are you counting things? I guess they're going to try to mill strategy me, even though I have a memory? Interesting. How many cards? 15 in my sideboard. I'm probably going to memory next turn. We need 1 more mana. Well, we need X amount more mana to probably prevent us from like getting countered. 2 more mana, I think, is what it equals. Why do they keep on looking at Riddle form? It only does so much. Sure. Make you pay if you want it. Sure. You have a card that makes me mill 5? Alright. They have ways to gain life, I guess. So the game has flipped around in our favor. Definitely in a good spot here. I mean, they can gain some life from their little 1-drops if they decide to attack in with them, but they're not very threatening. So, like, I feel like it's almost pointless for them to swing in with their stuff. We have very good blocks against pretty much everything they can attack in with. We can take these bigger toughness things, block their things that have 1 power. I mean, I did give him a whole new hand, so that's kind of a negative to all this. But I mean, I have hopefully ways to kind of get through for the win. Sure. They don't have a lot of things to embalm, so Anointed Priest is not going to do much. Sure. Which one do I want to give? Swing all in? Yeah, I mean, we're not dead on the return attack, so I mean, I feel like this is the play. Fine. Why would you not block in a way to... I mean, I guess you can embalm and trigger some life gain. You can get stuff back in some life. But I think you're dead in the air. I don't think you have a way to get out of this. Okay. I'll just take it. Unless you have a counter. But I think I've seen the counters that they have. And they're tapping down low. So it puts me in a good spot that I think we got this. Sure. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this game. All right, we're on the play. Hand's not terrible. Do I risk it though? Sure. Is this the game we're going to be punished because we decide to take a risk and keep a 2-land hand without the mana color we need? Probably. I mean, if I can get the 4 mana and get an Avian Initiate out, I'll be happy. Punished. Didn't draw a land. We have a good chance of drawing at least one of our colors. 17 lands, almost half the deck of land. Wow. I mean, they can do whatever they want. I really don't care. They kill it, they kill it. It's a 2-1. All right. 3-2 cat. Sweet. Can we draw our third land, though? I'll be kind of happy with that. There's a possibility they could cartouche on their end. Maybe they have a punch spell. I'll just take the 3, because I feel like they have some sort of combat trick, because like right off the bat, like a 3-2 blocking into a 2-1 doesn't seem like this like a move that I would make without having some sort of combat trick. Interesting. All right, so we drew a blue, which is not terrible. But we're still in a weird predicament because we haven't drawn our land. This is the one game we haven't been rewarded for being a risk taker, I guess is the best way to put it. They're probably going to attack in, yeah. I'll still take it. I'm not in any pressure to really, commit a creature immediately to their board. We're still in double-digit life. But our opponent is drawing a very, very pretty consistent, they bat and plays every single turn. So we're definitely behind. But if I can get something out, like, you know, if I get the 1 white mana, you know, this game could totally flip around. Or even if we get to 4 mana. The minute I start playing like creatures with this out, I'll start gaining creatures. Are you gonna exert it? That's the real question. They didn't exert it. Interesting. I guess I block it. They probably have a combat trick. Yeah, see? That's why I felt like them attacking him with a 3/2 was probably not the move. Yeah, our deck is just punishing us right now for some strange reason. I don't know why, but at least we are playing some lands, are playing creatures to at least get, you know, blockers. So I'm not like worried right now. Maybe they have a fight spell. I don't really know, but they're looking at things. All right, let's just get out of here. That was a terrible game. I don't really know. I guess I should have mulliganed, but there's nothing we could do. All right, so we're gonna keep this hand. Perfectly fine hand. This is definitely a hand that's workable. We can evolve in wilds turn 1. For our white mana source, we have double green, which is not needed for the deck. The 1 green's good enough. Anointed Priest. We have Compulsory Rest. I mean, this is a decent hand as long as we just don't draw. As long as we just don't draw like, you know, lands all the time. But I mean, we have plays. Like our hand's not terrible. We have some plays here. Two. What does this do? Whenever another zombie enters the battlefield, you may tap target artifact or creature. Interesting. No tax. I mean, they're probably gonna play stuff. They probably playing zombies or artifacts, or yeah, a zombie, I would assume, style deck. I'll get rid of my 2nd green. Sure, you can tap my card. I will get rid of my forest. I think that's fine. I mean, our board's not great in this situation, so we'll just kind of sit back. I mean, we have decent blockers. They probably can't play multiple zombies this turn, tap multiple things, so I think we could have decent blockers regardless of whatever they tap down. I don't mind throwing like a Sacred Cat, you know, to a creature here. Sure, I'll discard a card. I guess they're playing some sort of discard deck. I mean, once I kind of run out of cards here, it is what it is. Now the question is, are they going to be aggressive and attacking? They are. Neither of these have a bomb, so I'm just going to double block here because I don't think that's a good attack on their part. I don't know why they got rid of the 1/1. I mean, granted, they could, I guess, in that scenario. I guess we play another Sacred Cat. We get our 2 life back. And we'll say go. Because I feel like at this point they should know that that they shouldn't attack in, especially now that I have 1/3s. I mean, like, unless they put -1/-1 counters places. I don't know, though. Sure. I'll take 2. Yeah, we'll play our bird. That pretty much shuts down that. We attack him for 1. If they kill like our Anointed Priest, it's not terrible. Because I can bring it back and then trigger Anointed Priest on Anointed Priest. Sure. I mean, they are playing pretty zombie tribal, which is pretty cool. I mean, that they were... Okay. Yeah, I'll block. And I'll block. Because I can bring back the Anointed. Sure. I feel like that was a waste. Because I don't think they had good attacks there. But we'll bring back the Anointed here. As a token. Gain some life. We'll play a 1/1. we will say go. Our opponent has been very aggressive, and we're rolling at 19. Okay, that doesn't have any sort of sacrifice ability. Sure. I'll take 2. I'll take 1. We'll get rid of the card that afflicts, and we swing in. We swing in for 1, and we hold back blockers. Now we just need to draw a land, and we can really do a good job here. Yeah. We do this. We target this. We take action. We stomp that before they can start tapping stuff down. We swing in for 2. And we say go. Not a very exciting game, as I feel like we're just top decking. What does this do? Creatures you control get +1/+1 in turn. I don't think that's the play here, dude. Only activate as a sorcery, though. Can't do it during your combat. We'll swing in. And now our little creature has first strike. I mean, I think we're in the driver's seat to do a good job here and win. I'm not. Do they have combat trick? You know what? Risk it. Whatever. All right, they're taking it. I feel like they have something, but you never know. I'm gonna draw cards at the end of their turn. Sure. Auto pay. Yep. We'll just get the board filled back up. There's a good chance that they may not have a lot to do. Who knows? So go. Yeah, we'll play the land. I think I need 7 anyway to take control of target permanent they control. I probably should have played Anointed then into this. But that's fine. I think they have a play. Maybe not. I don't know. I like hesitated for a second. I mean, I'm not gonna hold an island to like surprise trick them. That's 6. We can do 5. What does this do? Enchanted player loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Game? All right, opponent goes first. We drew our land color, so this game's actually very good. I think the hand's not terrible, so I'll keep. We just needed that 4th land, and I think this hand becomes amazing. But we have our 1 of each color, which is great. I apologize for the yawn. I guess our opponent mulliganed down to 6, which is good for us. Drew our 4th land. We'll play our white mana. Now we're pretty much set up for the rest of the game to play pretty much everything. Double green, so are they playing pure green? Okay, so I have a little bit of mana ramp here. We'll play our priest. Or compulsory rest is not bad on turn 3, depending on what they do here. Okay, so they play green-white. I guess they just drew. What is this? As it attacks, when you do, it gets +2/+2. Interesting. Let's not let them know that we're playing any green, so we're actually going to play this here, not let you exert, and we'll just swing in for 1. I don't really care about taking 1 point back. Okay. So they're playing like exert kind of style of deck. Still just gonna go on the idea of that we're just playing some sort of like, you know, just a very basic Azuria style deck with 1 white mana. That's kind of the other bad point. We only have 1 white mana, so it's kind of awkward if we have to play any of our... Fair. I'll take 4. I'm not worried about taking 4. All right, our opponent's gaining a ton of life. Okay. I will take 4. We'll get our 1 green out on the battlefield now. Can I play... Oh, I need to use the white, don't I? Darn. We will give this +1/+1 in first strike. Becomes a good blocker. And we will say go. I'll set up for a draw 2 at the end of their turn. This is sorcerer to deal damage to you, prevent 1 of that damage. Interesting. Our opponent doesn't have any good attacks here, because our creature in the air has first strike now, so it blocks pretty well. I guess they're... I don't think they read what it does. Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm going to win this race, so I'm not worried about taking 2 points of damage in the air here. I have Supreme Will, which kind of stops a lot of their spells unless they play really, really cheap stuff. You can swing it for 2, I guess, but not leave back a blocker. Sure. I mean, 1 land away from taking their card. Now they don't have any good attacks. I mean, I kind of feel bad. But I mean, this is Magic, so might as... Oh, I don't have enough. Okay, never mind then. I don't really know what our opponent can draw here. Okay, they got a little bit of mana ramp. Good for them. I'll get another white. I just think having a second white's always very good, even though we don't really need it right now because we have a lot of blue. But we might as well. I don't care if they have a card that negates the damage. I'm just gonna swing in. Sure. It's a 2/2. Can they create cats? Interesting. Seems like a good card to take. I mean, they now get a free play, so whatever they play here. Sure. Oh wow, those cats came flying, I just realized. Alright, we're on the play. I think it's okay and playable. Let's not get... Hopefully we don't get mana screwed like last time. Famous last words. But we have plays on turn 2, so I don't hate it. I'm going to play that tapped. Might as well get out of the way. Probably should have played white mana first, but I didn't know I was going to draw the desert. Hieroglyphic's actually like really good for 1 mana cycle and still draw a card. Not bad. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Not a bad card. I mean, we'll just put this in front of it. Just because it can block. Now the question is, are we going to draw a 4th land? 4 is the magic number, I think, with this deck. If we can get to 4 or more lands, we're good. What does this do? It has +1/+1 if you have 1 or fewer cards in hand. Interesting. We'll play cat. No, not that one. We'll tap this. I know. Really exhilarating game here. 1 mana damage. Oh, Grixis. Playing Grixis. This has an Abalm of 1, so it comes back if I block with it. They're tapping very particular. 2 mana. I guess they're gonna kill it. They're gonna ping. We got milled the 2 lands in our thing. Darn. Well, we got 4 lands, which is good. They have something because we got pause. I mean, I could have played Anointed Priest, but I'd rather sit back. They have... Sure. I'm kind of waiting to see how their board builds up. Because they haven't really done much other than play 2 cards and some cycles. Whenever you cycle or discard another card... Counter. And now they're tapped out, so I think we're in a good spot. Interesting. I feel like they know we can gain life here. But they still attack. And then we anointed. We gained some more life. Sure. I guess their strategy is just to mill us out. We're at 18 cards. I mean, they're not doing a bad job. I mean, very surprised we haven't actually drawn cycle. Sure. I guess they're really looking for an answer. How much green mana did they get milled? 1. I mean, if they have a combat trick, might as well get out of the way now. That is their combat trick? Interesting. I'm probably just going to commit whatever they play this turn, and then I'm going to memory on my next turn. What is the spell? Resolve. Sure. You do you. I'm not worried about being milled out. I still have 16 cards in deck, so I'm going to leave memory around for a little bit longer. As haste. Okay, it's tapped. I will take 4. No? No 4? Double block? Interesting. I think I'm going to Sphinx's Revelation. What do I have? 4/7 mana? Gonna draw 4 cards, gain 4 life. Sure. They're really trying to push in that damage. I'll take 2. Pass the damage. 7 or 4. Sure. Might as well get that out of the way. I guess if I'm just gonna... And we drew another one? What? What is that? Oh, we drew the Sphinx's Revelation. I'm thinking commit to memory. What am I thinking? Alright, so they have to kill my Avian Initiate or it's game next turn. They have a lot of mana. I mean, they can do it. Sure. Whenever a creature with -1/-1 counter dies, draw a card. 3 mana, you can put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. Sure. Little do they know that I have a card that essentially gives all my tokens flying, so it's fine. You know, I didn't actually draw any green mana. I just realized this whole game. And that's game. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Favorite start. Okay, white mana, blue, mostly blue and green hand. This is definitely a mulligan. I'm definitely gonna take the mulligan first, just because it is game 6. We need one. Can we pull this out? I hit the wrong button. Okay, so we are a green-white deck, I guess. What does this do? Oh, that thing just pings people. Okay. Yeah, we'll say go. I'll let them ping me, I guess, because it can still ping regardless whether it can attack or block. Okay. Yay. Got a little cat here, doing cat things. Sure. My cat will give me life back, so it's fine. I'll take that 1 point of damage. Ping me for 1, that's fine. Sure. Okay, Tormenting Voice. All right, so the goal here is just to hopefully burn our opponent out quicker than they can kill us. Though we haven't drawn any blue mana, which is unfortunate. And now our opponent is now in greater position here. Sure. Another cat. All right, so our opponent's going to run out of removal. That's the whole point here. Just let them burn out of removal here. I'm not worried about dying right now. Whatever they're doing is a very slow death. Okay, that's a problem. Cannon block our attack unless a creature died under your control this turn. Got it. So note to self, just got to do something to make that not attack or block. Sure. There's a lot of my deck I haven't drawn. I feel like I usually draw a lot of the white stuff, but I guess I haven't. Well, that's good. Unfortunately, we're going to get punished. Okay. Do they have a burn for 5? I don't have to commit, to be quite honest. You have game, just swing. What are you doing? I'm just gonna get out of here because you could have swung, go to 2, ping, game over. Oh, man. People are dumb. Well, I mean, overall, the draft wasn't terrible. We finished with 6 wins, which was very surprising. We got 1,800 gems. We got 5 additional packs, which is definitely very good. In the process of doing all that, I went ahead and pretty much completed a bunch of dailies, I would assume. Yep, completed a few dailies. I didn't do these dailies because I didn't play, I guess, a lot of red or green spells and or black or green spells. But for the most part, I mean, overall, not too bad. Getting a decent amount of packs for free, essentially, which is definitely very good. If you like the video, hit that like button. It definitely helps out a lot. I know this was much longer of a video. I mean, if you participated in the free draft, let me know how you did down in the comments below. With that being said, guys, until next time, I'll see you later.